Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. So this is a flip through of my scrapbook from all the visits I've done to the Warner Brothers studio tour and the Harry Potter studio tour. So I didn't intend for this to be a whole scrapbook, but I went in December 2025 and just took so many photos that yeah, it became its own scrapbook. So all the paper that I've used is from the Wizards collection from Echo Park. So while it's not strictly Harry Potter themed, it is just witches and wizards. You can tell that it's sort of, designed to sort of accompany Harry Potter, shall we say. And then sort of I've got a load of washi tapes that are sort of like magical, they kind of look magical and sparkly. And then I also found some theme stickers on Amazon. So yeah, they've all kind of gone in together to create this. So my title page is from a bag that I bought in the shop. So I, bought some stuff and I got given a bag. So yeah, I just cut that out because I thought that's, it does what it says on the tin. It's the studio tour. So yeah, let's get into it. So I was unsure what to do on the first page, and there were a lot of cut aparts in the Witches and Wizards collection about the books or about books. So it says books may well be the only form of magic. So yeah, I decided to sort of dedicate this page to the books of Harry Potter. So I decided to write my preference of books in order. I might do the films as well, sort of to compare. So yeah, my favourite book is The Half-Blood Prince, and actually that's my least favourite film. I think they did the book dirty with that. I think they focused on all the wrong bits. But yeah, so Half-Blood Prince is my favourite book, and then Prisoner of Azkaban is second, but this is my favourite film. Then Deathly Hallows, Goblet of Fire, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and then Order of the Phoenix. It's not that I don't like Order of the Phoenix, I just feel it's not that it's too long, but there's kind of bits of it that, I just don't like as much as the others. So yeah, I sort of ranked the books there. So yeah, I might put the order of the films that I like as well, just to sort of compare them. And then this washi tape, I thought looked like the family tree of Sirius Black. So yeah, I really like this washi tape. Thought it sort of looks quite regal. So then this, the time I went in 2025 was like my 6th time of going. I love Harry Potter anyway, but I just absolutely love the studio tour. If I lived closer, I would probably try and get a job there. So yeah, I wanted to sort of document all the different times that I'd been, and sort of so I used the quote from Dumbledore and Snape, so where it says after all this time, and then always, because I don't think I'll ever not like Harry Potter. I'll never sort of not watch the films or read the books. So yeah, I absolutely love it. So yeah, this is from the first time I went in 2013. It was after it had just opened. Yeah, so it went with some family friends, and they've since been lots of times as well. And then I put a picture of this in because this is no longer there. So this is the Potter's house after it had been blown apart by Voldemort. And yeah, I don't know why they got rid of that because yeah, it's quite iconic. Yeah, I used to think like, oh, that's my dream house, but obviously not with the roof blown apart. And then these pictures, this is my oldest childhood friend. So our parents met on their honeymoon, and kind of we've been friends ever since. And she used to come and stay with me in the summer holidays, because we didn't live very close to each other, and we would always watch Harry Potter together. So when the chance came to go to the studio tour together, we jumped at the chance. So yeah, this is probably from about 10 years ago now, which is really scary because she's now married to this guy. At the time he was just her boyfriend, and she has 2 kids. So yeah, it's sort of, weird how time flies. And then the past few times I've been, they've had these activity passports. So you sort of go around, you can't really see it on here, but you sort of have to stamp the passport in different places for each section of the tour. So yeah, that's really cool. It's like fun to sort of try and look for all the stamps. And then this is just some other times I've been. So this was the first time when they had the train, and I wore my Hogwarts jumper there. So yeah, this is like when I had long hair. I don't have long hair anymore. So yeah, it's just sort of to show the passing of time. I'm just going to, because these are my friend's children and I'm sure she doesn't want their face on YouTube, so I'm just going to cover those there. And then one time we ate in the cafe. So this was the Weasley's Wizard's hot dog, which was really yummy. So yeah, the cafe is expensive, but that was really yummy. Oh gosh, sorry, I keep knocking the camera. And then I do have this photo later on in the book, but when we went in March 2023, the fire alarm went off, so we all had to be evacuated. So that was sort of a memorable experience. And then, yeah, I went twice in 2023, which was sort of a bit excessive. But that's the thing, is all these times I've been with different people. And that's one of my favourite things about going with someone who's never been before, because you kind of get to see it again for the first time through their eyes. And sort of all the different people's favourite things are always different. So yeah, I like kind of going with people who have never been before. So yeah, I went for my friend's children's birthday. So this was when they were turned 8, and again, sort of like seeing it as a kid, or through a kid's eyes was really cool. And then sort of I've just put all the years I've went and all the different people. So yeah, I have been a lot, and I probably won't go again now for a couple of years until they bring in something new. That's the thing, they are always adding to all the exhibitions. So they're always changing. They're always giving us more reasons to go. So yeah, this is kind of the outside. So I bought my ticket. So the reason we went in December is because they dress it all up for Christmas, and it's just amazing. So this is kind of the outside of the tour, and then they've got like a little walkway with like giant sized wands, and they all have names, so you can tell which character's name, or which character it belongs to. And then yeah, this is just sort of like the massive Christmas trees that are outside. And so yeah, I put get ready for the magic at the beginning, because obviously, you know, the adventure is about to begin. So this is the entrance hall. So again, at Christmas they kind of had loads of Christmas trees everywhere. Sort of got a picture of sort of 4 of the adult cast, and this one actually made me really sad because all 4 of them have now passed away. So yeah, sort of even though they're not here anymore, their legacy lives on through Harry Potter. And so this was a picture or a drawing of Professor McGonagall. So yeah, sort of put that there for Maggie Smith. And then yeah, in the entrance hall they've got a massive Hungarian horntail dragon. And then in the shop they have sorting hats. So I've got a picture of Lee with the sorting hat on. So yeah, I just absolutely love this. So then this is sort of the beginning of the tour and the Great Hall. So you've got all the statues that kind of jump down in the Battle of Hogwarts, and this is actually a sticker of Professor McGonagall saying "Pia totum locomotor." So I thought that fitted quite well there. And just if you're going to the studio tour and you haven't been, at the beginning, they will sort of like say if it's anyone's birthday to come to the front. I mean, I wouldn't recommend lying, but you know, either book to go on your birthday, but you get to do something very cool. So yeah, I'd recommend saying it is your birthday, even maybe if it's not. And then yeah, you get to go inside the Great Hall. And so they had it all decorated as if it was Christmas dinner, and they sort of had Christmas puddings that they could set alight. So yeah, it was brilliant at Christmas. It's cool, even if it's not Christmas. I think they do a set for Halloween as well. So yeah, depending on the time of year, and they always do different exhibitions throughout the year as well. So I have got a wand from the shop, so I did take my wand with me. And obviously this is the set from the Yule Ball. I'd love to be able to have a go on the piano, but unfortunately you can't. And then this is just some bits. So I kind of did like a Gryffindor page. So this is from the Gryffindor common room and the dormitory. The beds are absolutely tiny. I mean, obviously they didn't really sleep in them, but yeah, if they had to sleep in them, I don't know how they would have fit. And obviously you've got the invisibility cloak. And then you've got the griffin that sort of guards Dumbledore's office, and then the pendulum from the Prisoner of Azkaban. And that's cool because that just sort of swings back and forth. You could probably get quite hypnotised watching that. And then, yeah, so just anything Gryffindor themed I put on this page, and obviously a trunk because it's for the dormitory. So then this was Dumbledore's office. So you've got both versions of Dumbledore. You've got Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. You've got the pensieve. So yeah, you could sort of actually look into that, and it sort of swirls around, which is really cool. And then I thought this was amazing. So these are all the memories, and they've even put dates on them. So this one is the May the 9th, 1985. So is it 85? 1955, sorry. Yeah, so the amount of detail they've gone into, so you wouldn't have even seen that on screen, but they even sort of put all the dates on, which I just thought was, you know, the amount of detail that they included was incredible. And then I put a backing page of lots of books, because obviously I feel like Dumbledore read a lot of books. So this was sort of mainly from the Prisoner of Azkaban. The way so this is the corridor in the Leaky Cauldron, and it's the way that they get the perspective to make it look like it goes on a lot further than it does is really cool. You've got the Monster Book of Monsters, that's cool as well. And then here, just put sort of lots of random bits. So here you've got like Slughorn's Time Turner, you've got the little goblet that Dumbledore has to drink out of, the Philosopher's Stone, and then two of the Horcruxes, and the money's cool as well. So you can sort of see like the individual coins, and of course Harry's glasses. So yeah, just sort of did a mixy matchy kind of page for that one. You've got the Mirror of Erised, which is really cool. I have heard of people proposing in this mirror, which I was like, oh, that's cute. So yeah, sort of your heart's desire if you want your partner to propose. And then you've got all the kind of rules and regulations that Umbridge made up. The entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, that's really cool. And then this is sort of mainly dedicated to Snape. So my mum absolutely loved Alan Rickman, and on the day it was announced that he died, she got about 10 texts from loads of different friends like going, oh my god, are you okay? So yeah, every time we go we sort of like to pay homage to Snape and Alan Rickman. So yeah, I sort of turned this into a Slytherin page. And then just some bits from the Yule Ball, McGonagall teaching Ron how to dance. And I quite like this quote, well-mannered frivolity. Yeah, I like that quote. So then this is Hagrid's cabin. So yeah, I really like this quote. I thought it summed Hagrid up. A true friend is life's greatest magic. So they've got Fang, and then this is cool because they show you how, because obviously Robbie Coltrane was not a giant, so they show you how they get the perspective and made it look like Hagrid was bigger than the other actors. So that was cool. And then we've got the Weasley house, and this is quite interactive. So there's like, you have the knitting needles, you get a knife sort of chopping veg. So yeah, this was really cool. I really like that house. So yeah, this was the sticker of, sort of cut out of Ron, and life is full of magic. Yeah, I just sort of I like the colours. I think they work quite well together there. So then this is the Ministry of Magic and Defence Against the Dark Arts. So yeah, this bit was new. So So I hadn't been since 2023. So the divination classroom and Lockhart's classroom was new since I've been. So yeah, they're always adding new bits. So there's like the Minister for Magic and kind of the offices. So yeah, I think it's really cool that they sort of reuse the sets to kind of make it into an exhibition, because, you know, everyone can see, you know, how detailed everything really is. So then you go into the Forbidden Forest, which is sort of flanked by these two winged boars. So the first thing you see is Buckbeak, and he actually moves and everything, so that's really cool. So yeah, just got some pictures of him in different places. So yeah, for this one, I put this sticker here that says, always remember you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you know. Mainly because of this bit. So the first time I went into the Forbidden Forest, I was actually quite scared. So yeah, I've learned to be brave. So yeah, I was scared because of this bit. So yeah, if you don't like spiders, there is a bit that you can bypass this. So yeah, just if you're scared, don't not go, because there is a way you can avoid it. But yeah, the spiders come down and sort of Aragog comes forward, and when you don't know how far they are going to come down, you do think, are they going to land on my face? But they don't. So but they are still pretty intimidating. But yeah, no, the forest is cool. It's actually one of my favourite parts now, even though when I first went there I nearly pooped myself. So then you go on to platform 9 3/4, so you can sort of push the trolley, and they've got the clock and sort of the platform. So yeah, I really like this bit. So yeah, I use sort of lots of luggage, just because obviously that's what they travel with, and it's sort of all about going on to platform 9 3/4. And then they have the train, which is absolutely amazing. Sort of, it's really impressive to sort of see it there. I don't know what's happened to some of the photos, but it looks like our faces are really dirty. They're not, I promise. So yeah, you actually get to go on the train as well, and you can walk through the different carriages, and they have one carriage from each film, which is really cool. So I did the one from The Prisoner of Azkaban when the Dementors come on, so they sort of frost the window up and sort of freeze the bottle of water. And then this is the one from Deathly Hallows where Lavender writes on the, not Deathly Hallows, Half-Blood Prince, where Ron and Lavender write on the, Lavender writes her and Ron's initials on the window. And then you've got the carriage from the first film where they're all eating all the sweets, and then the 4 costumes from the last film when they're all grown up. So then we stopped for some butterbeer, which I tried when we first went, and I thought it was absolutely disgusting, but they must have changed the recipe, because this one was actually quite yummy. So yeah, you sort of get, it's all frothy, and you get to keep the tankard as well, which is really cool. And then you go outside, which is like my favourite bit of the whole tour. So you can sit in the Ford Anglia, you can ride on the motorbike. And then they've got the night bus, so you can go on it. You can't go up it or anything, but you can kind of stand on the back, which is really cool. And then inside they have an actual replica of it, and it sort of moves as if it was going along. And then, so yeah, I've got a spare photo that I need to stick in somewhere. So then they have the greenhouse with the mandrakes, and this is really cool because they have the sound of the mandrakes crying. I like, yeah, they've even got their little faces on it, which is so cool. And you can pull the mandrake out as well. So yeah, really like this bit. The greenhouse is really cool. And then they have the bridge, which mainly features in The Prisoner of Azkaban, but you can actually walk across this bit. If it does rain, they do block it off, I think, just because it's a bit slippery. But yeah, you get to go along there, which is really cool. And I like this bridge because there's a scene in Prisoner of Azkaban and they play a piece of music, which is my favourite piece of music from the whole Harry Potter series. So yeah, I really like, I think of that bit of music every time I see this bit. And then just some more bits from outside. They've got the Weasley's house. So yeah, this was the bit where at the beginning they had the Potter's house. But yeah, for some reason they've seemed to have taken that away. And then you get to go into number 4 Privet Drive. So without giving mine or my partner's address away, we both live at a number 4. So like that's the number of our addresses. So yeah, so we've got number 4 there. Not that I'd really want to be associated with the Dursleys, but yeah, no, I thought that was cool. And then they've sort of got all the letters and Aunt Marge and Dobby. And yeah, you can walk through the house as well, which is really cool. And then you go into like all the special effects, which obviously is really interesting to see sort of how they did everything. So they've got a mask of Hagrid's face. So because Robbie Coltrane wasn't tall enough, they made a mask of his face that they put on a taller actor. You've got the basilisk, the fairies, the pixies, and then you've got like an interactive bit where you can sort of move and it makes Dobby move. And then obviously Voldemort from the end of Deathly Hallows. And then all the different designs for for Professor Flitwick and for the goblins, because they were all played by the same actor. And because Flitwick was in Ravenclaw, so I did like a Ravenclaw page. And yeah, learning about how they do all the goblins, that was really fascinating and interesting. And they have loads of masks and models of their faces. So yeah, that's really cool. And then you go into Gringotts, and this set here is absolutely amazing. So this isn't actually marble, but they've made it to look like marble. It's incredible. So obviously this is where you get Bellatrix, you get all the goblins. So yeah, this is really impressive. You've got the Philosopher's Stone, and then you get to go into sort of what is Bellatrix's vault, and sort of you get to use the sword to try and hook the Horcrux. And then that's sort of the actual set that they used for her vault. And then yeah, this bit is amazing. So they have a CGI dragon, but it looks so real and it breathes fire, and it's just like, even me saying what happens doesn't spoil it because the effect is incredible. It's mind-blowing and amazing, and I can't rave about that enough, what they can do with special effects. So yeah, I mean, I could stay there for an hour watching this bit. It's so cool. And then sort of after that you go into Diagon Alley, so you have the outside of Gringotts there. So I just stuck that on this page because obviously that's the building you're in. And then you've got sort of Malfoy and his mum. And then you have Diagon Alley, so you've got sort of Ollivander, you've got the bookshop and the Weasley shop. I have heard that they are the next sort of thing they're going to add is that you're going to be able to go into these shops. I don't know how true that is, but if that's true, then I'm definitely going back. You've got the Owl Emporium, and yeah, so because it was Christmas, they sort of decorated it all with snow. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, this is amazing, this bit. I mean, it's all amazing. And then right at the end, this is kind of like they saved the best till last. So this is the model they used if any exterior shots of Hogwarts, like if they sort of do like a pan round sort of in the air, they use this model, and at Christmas they dust it all with snow, and it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I love watching, again, people that have never been, when they see this, it's amazing. So yeah, that's just Lee next to, I mean, it's huge. I mean, he's like sort of nearly 6 foot, and obviously that's even bigger than him. So, but the detail on it is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, like they've got all the grounds. So that's sort of like a mini size version of the bridge from earlier. So we've got all the turrets. I'm assuming that's like the Great Hall. So yeah, it's the level of detail in it is amazing. And sort of they dim the lighting, so sometimes it's sort of like daytime and then nighttime. I don't know if you can hear, but if you can hear some snoring, that's the little dog in the background. Please ignore that. So yeah, just got some pictures of us by it. And then lastly, I think this is so cool. So this is, you go into a room and it's just stacked from floor to ceiling with wand boxes, and every box has a name of either an actor, a crew member, basically anyone who was involved in the making of the films. They have their own wand box, and they're scattered all over the place. So I mean, I could easily spend half the day here trying to find all the different people. So I feel like Daniel Radcliffe's, I feel, is like the easiest to find. It's kind of pretty much as you go straight in. So whether they did that on purpose. But yeah, sort of, I still haven't found everyone yet, but these are the ones that I found. So I had to find Alan Rickman. So yeah, Ralph Fiennes, obviously, is Voldemort. Mrs. Weasley, Bellatrix, Ron. Obviously J.K. Rowling's got one. That's the guy who voices Dobby, Malfoy. This is the producer of the whole films. Got Sirius, McGonagall, Hermione, Barty Crouch Jr., Fleur Delacour, Hagrid, Mad-Eye Moody, Mr. Weasley, Dean Thomas, and then John Williams, who obviously did a lot of the music. He wrote the iconic theme. So yeah, I absolutely love this room, and so I could easily spend all day in that bit as well. And yeah, that is the end of the tour. So I just sort of on the last few pages stuck. So we got given some newspaper. I bought a Christmas decoration, so it got wrapped up in newspaper. And then my partner bought a wand, and this was the bag it came in. So sort of cut that out and stuck it there. So yeah, fortunately, I do still have quite a few spare pages in this. So if I was to ever go back, if they add new stuff, then obviously I've got room for that. So yeah, thank you for watching this one. If you got to the end, it's nearly half an hour. I'm really sorry. But yeah, that is all my trips to the Warner Brothers studio tour. So yeah, highly recommend visiting if you're a Harry Potter fan, even if kind of you only just know it through the films. There's so many sort of recognisable sets. I mean, like my partner, he's not read the books, but he's watched the films and he still really enjoyed it. So yeah, highly recommend visiting. And yeah, I will leave this video there, and I will see you in another one. Bye.